Hello, and welcome to Rock Your Block and today's segment of 495 Metro. In keeping with our motto, living the life you were meant to live so you can be the person you were meant to be. Today, our guests will share some opportunities for you to become involved with the community. We have Ruth Lamberty, welcome Ruth, who is the director of JConnect.org, and she will share with us how her organization connects with the community. And there's an upcoming event called Good Deeds Day that Ruth will explain and let you know how you can get involved. In our second segment, realtors Dorothy Friedlander and Marie Baressi are here to chat with us about two of their passions, Military Appreciation Monday and Yellow Ribbon. Not to waste one more precious moment, I'd like to welcome Ruth. Hello, Ruth. Thank you for making the trip all the way here from Rockville.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And we'd like to start by you telling us a little bit about yourself and your organization, JConnect.org, and how you got involved.
Thank you, thank you. I actually work for the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington, and JConnect and JConnect.org, its website, is one of its many great programs. I actually got involved there. I took a funny route in my career, but I started in newspapers and moved into theater. And when I was looking for something new, I really wanted to do something that gives back. And the Jewish Federation made sense for me. And I started there in the marketing department and have gone into a couple of different aspects of the work that they do, which is wonderful. Fundraising for both this community here, in other countries around the world, and in Israel, all different sorts of programs. And JConnect actually at the Jewish Federation is the volunteering hub as well as the community events hub, because on our website, jconnect.org, it has the whole community events calendar. So anyone from any organization can go on there and put up their event so that everybody knows it's happening, and you can sign up for weekly emails as well. We match people with volunteer opportunities. So it's really a great place for me to be. We do wonderful work, and it feels good. It feels good to be doing that on a daily basis.
Yes, it always does feel good to give back. You mentioned about giving back, and I take it that as part of your upbringing that you had a lot of examples of that around you?
Well, I am Jewish, and it's really part of the culture. Even though I know things like this are tending to slip away as our world changes, that giving back both of your time and monetarily was really a responsibility that was taught. And I hope that other cultures teach that as well. I don't know as much about it, but as you grow up, you realize that that responsibility is a joy. So the responsibility part kind of fades away. It's nice.
Well, I'm Ed Richardson, the co-host today, otherwise known as the man in the middle. and just welcome again. And you're talking about the, I guess, engagement that your organization has, and I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about. It sounds like you're local and national and maybe even international. Is that right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So there are actually over 50 Jewish federations in the country, all under the umbrella of the Jewish Federations of North America. We are an independent organization of them, but it's great for teamwork and for learning, et cetera, to be a part of that group. And so we are the fundraising arm. It's hard, especially in this world, to go out and just purely be a fundraiser. It's hard. People want to give of their time now very much, which is a part of what we do, and people want to give directly to the source. They want to know exactly where their money is going. So especially as an umbrella organization, it's hard to go out into the community, but we don't apologize for what we do, because our fundraising raises funds that are really necessary for a lot of programs. So as you said, locally, several local schools are beneficiary agencies, the Jewish community centers, of which there are 3 in this area, the Jewish Foundation for Group Homes, which runs many different residences for people with disabilities of varying disabilities. They group them and they live together with an aide in a house independently, so that their parents, you know, don't have to take care of them and have them in the house. And it really, everything you can think of, we touch. We work with a couple of overseas agencies, the JDC and the Jewish Agency for Israel. We actually just finished this amazing operation that's been going for years called Operation Moses, which was, there are actually a lot of Jews living in Ethiopia, and every person that wanted to come out of the poverty area of Ethiopia, we brought to Israel. And they're put in housing where they learn the language and they learn the skills, and they're helped with the jobs and the culture, and they go out and become productive citizens in Israel. Actually, right now, our shlicha, which is our educational person from Israel, she's on a 3-year stint with us, actually was one of these people when she was very young, carried on her mother's back in Ethiopia, that moved to Israel, and she's thriving now. She's living here with her husband and young son, and so it's really amazing, the people that we touch. Holocaust survivors in Moscow and the Ukraine, and you don't realize how far it goes until you get on the ground and get to see some of those programs.
You know, if I may, it's a wonderful thing to learn about the cultures, the various cultures that are around us, whether it be Jewish, African American, Irish, whatever the case may be. And I think part of what's bringing the world together in a better way is to be able to understand the things that make us similar as human beings, and the examples that can be set in terms of, you know, giving back to the community, becoming the person that you were meant to be, by realizing that each human being has a responsibility to kind of leave the world in a better off position than what they found it. I think that it crosses all kinds of cultural and national lines, and it's great to hear. I think people need to hear that there's more going on than just what they read in the newspaper and see on cable TV. I mean, not that cable TV is bad, because we're on cable TV, but there's a lot more to see. And I know you have some more questions, but I felt like I just had to get that in there.
Well, piggybacking on that, I think just hearing you talk about the organization, and you know somebody personally who has benefited from your foundation and what you do, I think when you put a face to a project, you know, it brings personal satisfaction that what you're doing is working and what you're doing does make a difference. And that leads me into my next question, is that I know one of the projects that jconnect.org is involved in is something that's coming up, and it's called Good Deeds Day. Could you tell our audience about Good Deeds Day?
I can. Good Deeds Day is my baby. I'm very proud of it.
A little bit excited about that.
A little bit excited. It's really great. So a little bit of background. Good Deeds Day was actually started in Israel by a nonprofit there called Ruach Tovah. They are the outreach arm of the Arison Family Foundation, the philanthropic arm. And every year they tried to grow their base more and more of where the program took place. So 3 years ago, they approached us in Greater Washington at the Jewish Federation to see if we would take part. And it was really a great opportunity for us because, as I mentioned earlier, people want different ways to give back now, especially up-and-coming young adults and teenagers. They really want hands-on ways in which they can help, especially the local community. So Good Deeds Day is a culmination of all of that. We started out our first year with 1,500 participants, grew last year to 3,500.
Wow.
This year we're hoping to have 5,000. And
Excellent.
it really, so the other thing that we do is we make it easy. We make it accessible. There's about 80 different projects happening, so you can find anything that you like to do, from cooking to gardening to making crafts, and also any location that you want. So we're sure to have several projects in Northern Virginia, several in DC, and several in Maryland, so that everybody can get involved. There's no excuse for not coming out.
Wow.
And I'm really thrilled. Last year we broke a world record in sandwich making.
Oh. How many?
We made 3,400.
Wow.
And
we weren't invited. How about that?
Oh, well, you have to come this year.
That's
you have
it.
to come.
You're going to have to make 3,600.
Yeah,
so.
You're going to do the 200 yourself, right? So this year we're getting bigger and better, and all of those sandwiches went, of course, to some local shelters, but also out to the parks that are in the middle of DC, where people in need tend to gather, whether they're homeless or not.
Everybody can benefit from the outreach, right?
Yes, for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It's definitely not a religious thing, and it's not just for Jews. Both participating and benefiting from. The recipients are all over. We work with a lot of shelters like Stepping Stones Shelter and Shepherd's Table and Martha's Table, and go out there and cook, and it's a great day.
So I think we're beginning to run a little short on time here.
Sorry, I'm a big talker.
No, it's perfectly.
We're enjoying ourselves, and the time is going faster than I thought.
I would like for you to tell the viewing audience more about how they can get involved with Good Deeds Day, and about your website, and just how to connect with you and your organization.
I would love that. Well, our website is www.gooddeedsdaygw.org, and all of our projects are listed there. We've got educational materials, all of our partners, everyone that's involved in the day. So it's very easy. gooddeedsdaygw.org, and we hope to see you guys there really soon.
And we do have a link on our website, 495metro.com. So if they can't, they can come to our website and find the link and connect with your organization, J Connect. And it's been a real pleasure having you with us today. Thank you for taking the time to come down and share with us and share with our viewership some of what we feel is of vital importance in our society right now. So,
yes, I'd like to have you back and talk about some of the other things that your organization is doing in the community. And like you said, it's not just for Jewish people, it's anybody who wants to get involved and be a part of a bigger project. So again, thank you for coming, for sharing with our audience how we all can participate in Good Deeds Day. That website address again is www.gooddeedsdaygw.org. We'll be right back after this short station break.
It threatens the lives of more than 15 million Americans.
Like heart disease. Its symptoms can be misleading.
Like diabetes, it's biologically based.
And like cancer, it can be fatal.
It is depression.
And like other life-threatening illnesses,
depression can be treated.
Which means there's hope.
There's hope for everyone who has it. Learn more at depressionisreal.org.
Welcome back. You are watching Rock Your Block and today's segment of 495 Metro. I am Trudy Richardson, and with me is my co-host, Edward Richardson. For the second half of our show, I'd like to introduce Dorothy Friedlander. Hello, Dorothy.
Hi.
And Marie Baressi. Hi, Marie.
Hi.
They are joining us today to tell us about the wonderful work they are doing for Military Appreciation Monday dinners and the work that they do as well with Yellow Ribbon. Welcome, Ruth and Marie.
Thank you.
So glad to have you with us. And as we're talking about in the earlier show about volunteerism and good work, we're glad to have you here to talk about your good works.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that we believe in is that people want to live life a certain way, and in order to do that, everyone has to feel like they're bringing something to the table. They're giving back into the community, and so in the spirit of that, we've come to learn about the both of you and what you're doing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you get people involved?
Sure. Well, you used just the right words, giving back to the community, because the company that we both work for, which is Keller Williams Realty, believes in, one of their strong beliefs is giving back to the community. So in that spirit, one of our co-workers began giving dinners. It's such a simple concept. He became very interested in helping the military, all these guys that go out, guys and gals that go out and put their lives on the line for us, and then they come back and they don't fit in, or they're injured and they're just not the same people. And so he started a way of collecting money for them. So we give a dinner at a local restaurant. We invite people to come to it. We have sponsors, and at the end of the evening's dinner, the amount that's been collected is counted up, and then our sponsors donate 10%, 20%, a certain percentage that they decide on of the take for the evening. And then that amount, plus what we collect that we've done for auctions, that we've auctioned off some art perhaps on the evening, becomes the donation that we have for that organization. And every month we do a different organization. We have done Stop Soldier Suicide, we have done the Yellow Ribbon Fund, we have done Our Military Kids, and there are so many more that it's just a tiny drop in the bucket. But the hope is that one day they'll be doing this all around the country, and this will be their way to give back to the community.
Wow.
And I've been to one of your dinners, and at the dinner, not only did I have a lot of fun, but I met a lot of interesting people, and I was the recipient of one of the pieces of artwork.
Oh, that was where one of them, good.
Yes,
good.
Which I'm enjoying. Marie, I'll direct this question at you. With all the charities and various organizations out here, what moved you to want to become a part of this?
Well, Dorothy and I are both with Keller Williams Realty, and one of the things we love about our company is that they instill in their culture is so much about giving back, whether it be with your fellow agents, and then also a big supporters of giving back to the community, and that's how we got started with these dinners. And being an Army brat and having a father that was in the Korean War and being separated from him and knowing what it was like, to be separated for so long from a father or a mother. A lot of these organizations help with that as these wounded warriors come home. And we met when we first both joined, and we heard about this concept from another agent in the office that does this, and we decided, hey, this is a great way to give back to the community. And that's how we got started with it.
And it's always, I guess, you have a little bit more passion to it when you've experienced it yourself, and with you being raised with the father in the Army and being away and seeing the struggles of your mom and the struggles of the family, I guess it became more important to you.
Right. And a lot of these organizations that we fundraise for really fill in for, well, they don't fill in for the spouse, of course, but they really help the family as much as they can when the soldiers come home. And some of them also help our military kids. They will help the children of the military that have been deployed by giving them scholarships, either in school or to do extracurricular activities. And that's how Gabby Douglas got involved, would not have been able to attend the Olympics if it wasn't for our military kids.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Tell us, Dorothy, I know from conversations that I've had with you, and of course, I've gotten newsletters from the both of you, all right, which is greatly appreciated because I really think a lot of companies that have people who are engaged in the community, we're doing more than just business, but we're a part of the community. We're doing business in the community. We're giving back to the community. And the one thing that caught my eye was the Yellow Ribbon organization that you guys, it's one of many that you deal with. But Dorothy, can you tell us a little bit more, tell our viewers a little bit more about Yellow Ribbon?
Yeah, well, that was the first one that we did. And when you start to work with something, you become more aware. And somehow you see things everywhere. You see the need that there is that maybe you didn't see before. A Yellow Ribbon really got to my heart because what they do, the monies that we collect for them, there are these men and women who are sitting in a hospital. They're injured, they're scared, they're alone. What they do is they will bring the family from maybe across the country where they couldn't afford to come.
Wow.
They bring the family to the area, they put them up in rooms or apartments, they give them transportation to and from the hospital, and sometimes if they're able, they take them out to a ball game or some kind of a show or something. And that support from family, the children, the wife, the husband, is so important to their recuperation. And so very much appreciated. You know, one of the people that came from the organization said, you know, you see the reports on television about how well somebody's doing. She said, but I walk in the hospital halls at night and I hear those guys crying, and they're not all doing that well. So those kind of stories just grab your heart, and you realize that there are so many that need our help.
So have you met anybody personally that has benefited from Yellow Ribbon, or any of the families or the children? Or?
Well, we had a young man come to one of our dinners. Unfortunately, there is a long flight of steps down to the room we were giving the dinner, and he didn't have his prostheses on. They were not fitting, and so he had no legs. His legs had been blown off, and he couldn't come down. But we saw the car that he had gotten from one of the donations from an organization that was fitted out so that he could drive a car and get around. He had 2 little girls in the car, his 2 little daughters, and you see this big healthy guy, and look at him, you know, how life has changed for him. So he was unable to attend our dinners and get that story to everybody, but it certainly got to us, and it makes us very passionate about this cause.
I'd like to ask Marie a question.
Sure.
How can you share with our viewers how they can get involved with some of these charities, how they can join forces with you to help these great people, these heroes of ours?
Well, just have them contact us.
And how would they do that?
Give you my phone number.
No, well, just,
Whoa.
I'll give you my email address.
Yes.
It's Marie, M-A-R-I-E, understands, UNDERSTANDS, at kw.com.
Okay.
And we'd be more than happy to, whether they want to start these dinners or come to one of ours or suggest a charity that we could fundraise for. That would be wonderful.
I think what we can do is on 495metro.com, we should set up a link that goes directly to you. I don't know how many of our viewers are going to be able to copy that down, but if you'd like to repeat that email address one more time, I think a lot of people who are watching would like to be able to do that. Okay,
it's Marie, M-A-R-I-E, understands. My slogan is understanding your needs, so maybe that will help them. Marie understands at kw.com.
Okay.
And the hope is that people will see how easy it is to do these dinners and how much fun it is, and that these will spring up all over the country. And wouldn't that be great? You know, that we would have so many people aware of the need and helping.
Because I think we all have a sense of being thankful for our military personnel who go off to war, but we don't really think about the effects that it has on the family, on the children, the effects it has on them when they return, and the support that they maybe had before they left, and now their needs are different, so they need a whole different realm of support. And the work that you're doing, I think, is great for veterans, and especially there's so many young people who have went off to war and come back and have had things happen to them.
Would there be time for one little thing? A woman in our office, her son had a unit in Afghanistan, I believe it was, and we, as an office, were sending things to this group. And he came to our office one day, and we met him, and he told us how much they appreciated the small things that we were sending, books and things that they could carry in their packs when they're out in the field with so much stuff, you know, trying to think of things that would be appreciated out there in the heat and the cold and everything. And then this young man had the opportunity to end his service, but he chose to go back to his unit as a medic, and because he couldn't bear to leave them. And then they were put in a bunker where they only came out to help the wounded. And when he finally came home, he just doesn't feel like he fits in, and it just breaks your heart. So his mother says, I sent a boy off to war, and he came home, he's a different person.
Well, you know, the thing about all of this is that you're working for an organization in Keller Williams that understands the importance of giving back into the community. And all of these people that you're helping, they have hopes and dreams, and they want to pick those hopes and dreams up and become the person that they were meant to be. And it's through people like you that help give these people the opportunity to pick those hopes and dreams up. And just like they're our heroes, we're happy to have you on with us today.
Thank you
because
so
you're
much.
our heroes. And we think it's just a great thing. So
But we get a lot more than we give.
I'm sure.
It feels that way to
I'm
us
sure.
anyway.
I'm sure.
Yes.
So, well, again, our time is up. It's has just went by so speedily. I feel like there's a lot more we could talk about. Perhaps you all would come on again.
Yes,
but again, thank you.
Tell your audience to come to our dinners.
Yes, we will. We'll post it up. We'd like to thank our guests, Dorothy Friedlander and Marie Baressi, for sharing with us today. I hope our interviews encourage you to get involved so that you can live the lives you were meant to live and become the persons you were meant to be. Until next time, stay healthy and ride positivity as if you're on an enjoyable journey, getting off long enough to enjoy the view.